Coach, Northwestern suffered its first loss of the season, a 28-24 defeat by St. Scholastica on Saturday. What are your thoughts following that game?
Well, first of all, now it's Monday morning, so thoughts are certainly quite a bit different. Still disappointing, but opportunity to look at the week ahead. We have homecoming. We have an opportunity to become better as a football program and team, and certainly I've got things that I can get better at as a head coach. So,
does the loss hurt more because A, it's a game in which you were leading, and B, it comes against St. Scholastica, who is your rival for conference play?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, especially when you put a lot of time and energy in and take the lead like that and then surrender the lead in the fourth quarter, which, I've been thinking about this over the weekend. I take responsibility. I haven't gotten us to a point yet where we can be mind and heart ready to play a fourth quarter to pull out a game like that against a very good opponent. And so that's where we're at.
From a coaching perspective, you mentioned that homecoming is this week. Does homecoming matter when trying to prep for a game? Does having that event add flair to the game? Or for you guys as coaches, is it just another game with equal effort and preparation like any other of the 9 weeks of the season?
Well, it's for the most part, it's the same thing. I mean, some of the guys are pretty, into the whole powder puff thing and that kind of stuff, and I'm sure the crowd will be more enthusiastic and bigger than it usually is on a typical Saturday. So those pieces are exciting, but for the most part, it's part of the grind is just week after week trying to become the best that you can be, and every week is the biggest game of the year.
Being halfway through the season now, which is crazy to think about, where do you think UMAC football is across the board? Not necessarily compared to other conferences, but more of a top-to-bottom approach from the league itself.
Yeah, I think from a top-to-bottom approach, there's no doubt that there's pretty good parity. I mean, so far Scholastica's proven they're the team to beat, but after that, and I think they are beatable, there's no doubt. It'll be tough, but on the other hand, it's like you got 9 other teams that are pretty close. Even though you can look at some of the scores, it's pretty close conference that way. We don't have anybody that's just way out there either direction.
Tell me the status of Josh Sinnen. I know Josh was hurt in the game against Crown, and he wasn't able to suit up against St. Scholastica on Saturday. What is his status going forward for this week and beyond?
Yeah, I think Josh will be ready to go this week. He didn't practice at all last week because of his hip pointer. Would like to believe that he'll be ready to go for the game against Morris this week. I was hoping that he'd be ready to go last week, kind of a game day decision, and just wasn't the right timing.
In addition to him, you've got Austin Stubbs, who is a defensive back, a starter, who went out with a hip injury early this year. But besides those two, do you feel as though your team has avoided the injury bug so far this year?
Yeah, I think for the most part we've really tried to avoid the injury bug, and a lot of that's tied with the core body workouts that we're doing right now. I would like to believe that that's played a part in keeping guys healthy. I know just from personal experience that core body has been good. But yeah, the Lord has blessed us. Unfortunately, we lost Stubbs that first game. We've got some guys that are capable come in and do a good job there, and Lord willing, we'll continue to stay pretty healthy.
Finally, I know you talked a little bit about leadership a couple weeks ago on your team and how you feel like that's really strong this year. How would you characterize this season through 5 games so far in this team?
Yeah, I would still say that our leadership is real strong. I think the guys are pretty focused on what they need to be focused on, and that's to be the best that they can be and glorify the Lord in their play. Sometimes that's tough, especially in the game of football, where it's a collision sport and things happen that get frustrating, and to deal with that. And certainly winning can sometimes trump the worship experience and being the best that you can be. But I think overall we've had great leadership from our captains, and certainly other guys have come alongside as well. And we need to continue to do that to finish strong.
Excellent. We'll get better this week, and we'll see you out there on Saturday.